What is this? What's going on? I finished my schedule and came back home as usual. The usual morning, the usual path, my usual pair of shoes. But the state of our house was not usual, and I was at a loss for words. There were fire trucks and ambulances around the house, with a crowd of people gathered. And at the center of everyone's gaze was our house, blackened by fire. It's a fire. It seems there were people inside the house. This is terrible. Oh no, it's become a serious situation, huh? I could hear such voices from the gathered neighbors. In an instant, I felt the blood drain from my body. What about my daughter, my husband, and my mother-in-law? Their faces flashed through my mind. My whole body started trembling uncontrollably. Just as I was about to try entering the sealed-off house, my phone in my pocket rang. I am Kara, a housewife. 3 years ago, my father-in-law passed away. And since last year, my husband Daniel, our 5-year-old daughter Emily, and I have been living with my mother-in-law in my husband's hometown. My mother-in-law is kind to my daughter, but our relationship is not that great. She often makes snide remarks towards me. Kara, the taste of the food is too strong. Are you trying to give me high blood pressure? Such nagging happens almost every day. Even though I don't season the food too strongly, I find it tiresome to argue. So I apologize and say I'm sorry. Kara, there was dust in the corner of the hallway. Honestly, you're so bad at cleaning. I'm sorry. My mother-in-law interferes with household chores like cleaning and laundry, which bothers me. I recently realized that no matter how carefully I clean, it doesn't make much difference because my mother-in-law always finds something to complain or nag about. Even though my husband knows about our situation, he doesn't say anything, perhaps thinking it would be troublesome to get involved. I once discussed my mother-in-law with my husband before, but what? Are you trying to say that what my mom said is wrong? Since she's trying to give you advice, you should just listen quietly. Don't come to me with such things. I'm tired from work. That's what my husband said to me. Despite being tired from work, he goes out drinking every night. It seems like he's enjoying himself since returning to his hometown. He goes out drinking with friends every evening after work. Even on holidays, he's not at home and goes out to have fun, which has been a source of concern. Since coming to my in-laws' house, my husband stopped to help in with household chores and childcare altogether. At first, our daughter used to miss him, but recently, she seemed to have accepted his absence as the norm. One day, when I went to the grocery store, my husband's friend Tyler approached me. Kara, it's good to see you. Actually, there's something I want to talk to you about. When I asked him what it was, he hesitated a bit and whispered, Actually, it seems like Daniel is cheating on you with his ex-girlfriend. What? Daniel is cheating? Everything went dark in front of me. And with his ex-girlfriend. It must be some kind of joke, right? But Daniel is the type who is easily tempted and lenient towards himself. It's not impossible. It was a story I didn't want to believe. But it's true that he's been going out drinking frequently lately. Perhaps he's meeting his affair partner every night. That day, I waited for my husband to come back and confronted him. Daniel, is it true that you're meeting your ex-girlfriend? Have you been cheating? Huh? What's got into you? All of a sudden. I would never cheat. Even today, I just went out with some male friends. But today, I met Tyler at the grocery store, and he told me that you're cheating. Then my husband immediately denied it. Tyler? That guy has always been a liar. You don't have to believe him. I couldn't erase the suspicion in my mind and continued. Really? But since we came here, you've been going out drinking all the time. Even on holidays. You go to the gym or fishing, right? That's because I'm meeting friends or attending work-related events. Stop being so persistent. My husband was determined to stick to his denial. But I could tell he was visibly shaken when I asked him directly about the affair. At the moment, I backed down. But from then on, I tried to find evidence of the affair around my husband. I couldn't access my husband's smartphone because it was locked. However, when I checked his jacket while he was away for work, I found a receipt from a luxurious hotel. The date matched the day he said he went on drinking with his male friends. My suspicion turned into certainty of his infidelity. To think he was really cheating. Cheating? Kara, what are you talking about? My mother-in-law had come into the room without me noticing and overheard my murmurs. Well, it's just that... I'm sorry, but it seems like Daniel is having an affair. What? What nonsense! Daniel is cheating? There's no way he could do something like that. He also said it's a misunderstanding. But there's someone who claims to have seen him at the scene of the affair. And also this. I showed her the receipt from the hotel, and my mother-in-law was momentarily speechless. But this must be some kind of mistake. How dare you suspect your husband of infidelity when you're being supported? If Daniel says it's not true, then it's not true. My mother-in-law blurted out those words. Perhaps she didn't want to believe her son's infidelity and had no intention of listening to what I had to say. If we investigate further, I'm sure more evidence will come to light. I can't forgive Daniel for the sake of her daughter Emily. Don't you understand my feelings? Especially since you've experienced being cheated on by your husband. Yes, I had heard that my mother-in-law had also struggled with her husband's infidelity in the past. She seemed to lose her usual assertiveness and appeared confused and shaken. Can you help me gather evidence? I don't think we can let it go like this for the sake of Emily. Fine, I understand. But if Daniel is innocent, I won't forgive you. My mother-in-law tried to put up a strong front, but it seemed difficult for her to refuse when it was for the sake for her grandchild. A few days later, as I opening my wallet to check my money before going shopping, I widened my eyes in surprise. Huh? What's going on? The money that was supposed to be inside was completely gone. Could it be that a thief had broken in? Should I contact the police? Looking pale and shaken, my mother-in-law, who saw this, approached me with a puzzled expression. What's wrong? Kara, you look pale. Well, the money. The money is gone. Seeing me panicking and contemplating whether to report it to the police, my mother-in-law stopped me. The last time I used my wallet was 2 days ago. Since then, I had kept it in the room, and my mother-in-law also pointed out that she had been mostly at home during that time. So it was unlikely that thief or anyone else could have entered. If that's the case, then who? Could it be Daniel? I don't want to believe it, but it's possible. I heard him complaining about not having enough pocket money a while ago. I can't believe it. I couldn't hide my shock at the thought that my husband had stolen money from our family. Furthermore, my mother-in-law showed me a photo on the table, and I couldn't believe my eyes. Is this? I happened to see it after you told me about Daniel's affair. The girl in the photo is definitely the girl he dated in high school. There's no mistake. In the photo, my husband and the woman were walking arm in arm, appearing close. So, this was his ex-girlfriend and his affair partner. She had long black hair, just like mine. Jealousy, anger, and disgust welled up inside me. So, it's both cheating and theft. I'm sorry, but What your son is doing is despicable. I can never forgive Daniel. That child has become just like his father. Anyway, I helped you gather evidence. The rest is up to you. Yes, I will make sure Daniel reflects on his actions. I will make him regret making me angry. Afterward, I discussed with my mother-in-law about our future plans. We decided to deliberately let my husband know the location of the money. Look, Daniel, I've rearranged things a bit. I moved the instruction manuals and bank cards to the drawer in the bedroom. Cards? Oh, I see. Although my husband tried to appear calm, I could tell he reacted to the mention of the money's location. As planned, the next day, the bank card had disappeared. That night, as soon as my husband came home, he confronted me. Hey, what is this about? What are you talking about? When I acted ignorant, my husband's face turned red, and he shouted at me. He had the bank card in his hand. There was no money in this bank card at all. Thanks to you, I was embarrassed. That bank card was just recently created, so there's no deposit in it yet. What? I made a fool of myself in front of her. Besides, that bank card is mine, so you can't withdraw from it. And why do you have it? Why did you need the card? Who is her that you mentioned? Oh, well... Being bombarded with questions, my husband must have realized his slip of the tongue. He looked startled, fell silent, and glared at me intensely, frustrated at having been tricked. Muttering something under his breath, he locked himself in the room. A few days later, my husband said he was going out with my mother-in-law and our daughter. Since I had other plans, I was getting ready to go out alone without worrying about it. Then, my husband hurried me. Hurry up. It's disrespectful to be late to an appointment. What? I don't want to hear that from you, who doesn't even keep promises. I stared at my husband, who was acting strangely. He kept urging me while avoiding eye contact. In any case, he seemed eager for me to leave quickly. Aren't you leaving as well? Get ready yourself. Ready? Oh, I'm all set. I just need to leave. He seemed strangely excited. As I wondered about my husband's behavior, I left the house first. A few hours later, I would come to know the meaning behind my husband's action. As I was walking home after finishing my errands, the surroundings seemed unusually chaotic. What's going on? Is there a festival today or something? As I thought that, the voices from people around me reached my ears. It's the house at the end of the street. I've never seen it in such a terrible state. Huh? The house at the end of the street? That's our house. My heart started racing. I hurried home, and the crowd around me seemed to be growing even larger. There were people inside. They seemed to have been caught up in it. Those words from the people around me made me feel breathless. Emily, my husband, my mother-in-law, are they all safe? A smell of burnt filled the air. Please let this bad feeling be wrong. Finally, when I arrived home, the house was completely burned and charred. What is this? What's happening? I was stunned by the sight in front of me. Are they all safe? Everyone, are they safe? I tried to forcefully pass under the no-entry rope, but people around me stopped me. But I couldn't hear their attempts to calm me down at all. All that was in my mind was my family. Maybe they're already... Just as I was considering that possibility, my phone rang. It was from my mother-in-law. Is she alive? I answered the call in a hurry. Kara, are you okay? I heard you were seriously injured in a fire. Are you okay? Huh? I've been out this whole time, though. Wait, are you okay? Huh? What do you mean? I heard from the neighbors that Daniel and a young woman were taken away in an ambulance, so that's why I assumed you came home early, Kara. What does that mean? Weren't Daniel and Emily with you? With a confused mind, I asked, and my mother-in-law seemed bewildered as well. After you left, we were about to go out when Daniel received a phone call. It was a work call, and he had to suddenly work from home, so he asked both of us to go out. A sudden work call? So, Daniel stayed at home then? I understood everything. My husband must have been meeting his affair partner at home. The neighbors must have mistaken the affair partner for me. With a boiling feeling in my stomach, my mother-in-law told me which hospital they were taken to, and I headed there. When I arrived at the hospital room, my mother-in-law and daughter looked revealed to see that I was safe. Heading to my husband's hospital room, the treatment has already been done, and he was lying in bed. The burns seemed to be minor. By the way, I heard that the affair partner who was taken with him was in critical condition. When my husband saw me, he looked awkward and averted his gaze. Daniel, what happened with the fire? And you were meeting your affair partner at home, weren't you? No, it's a misunderstanding. There's a reason behind this. Stop lying already. I know everything. Seeing my demeanor, my husband seemed to resign himself. He snorted and started talking with a brazen attitude. He said that after returning to our hometown and having drinking party with friends, he ran into his ex-girlfriend and started cheating on me. He admitted that he was spending money every day, so his allowance was not enough, and he was stealing money from my wallet. And today, after fooling around with his affair partner at home, he caused a fire due to careless smoking. Moreover, he left the affair partner behind and escaped on his own. He's despicable. You are the lowest of the low. Cheating on me, stealing my money, and causing a fire. I never thought you could stoop this low. I handed him the divorce papers from my bag. I'm filing for divorce. I have evidence of your infidelity, so I'll make sure to get proper compensation and child support. Wait a minute. What the hell? Don't just suddenly talk about divorce? It was just a momentary lapse with my ex-girlfriend. I wasn't serious about it. Besides, doesn't Emily need a father? Are you planning to take her father away from her? Upon seeing the divorce papers, my husband started to panic. You haven't done anything to be a father figure to Emily either. As I murmured those words, our daughter, who was standing at the entrance of the hospital room with my mother-in-law, spoke up. I just want mommy. I'll be fine even without daddy. My husband was left speechless by our daughter's calm voice. Daniel, just give up already. You have no right to claim to be Emily's father. What's with you, Mom? You never got along with Kara. Why are you suddenly taking her side? Your mother has helped me gather evidence of your infidelity. It's clear that you were so oblivious to our family that you didn't even notice. With a dismissive tone, I blamed my husband, leaving him pale and unable to say anything. And so, time passed, and our divorce was finalized. I received alimony and child support from my ex-husband, and the woman he cheated with paid me compensation as well. Her parents, carrying money, came to apologize on her behalf while she was hospitalized due to severe burns. As for my ex-husband, he lost everything, money and home. Once his injuries healed, he started working desperately, day and night, living as a live-in worker. His local friends distanced themselves from him, and now he has no friends and doesn't even go out anymore. My mother-in-law moved to another state to live with my sister-in-law, cutting ties with my ex-husband. I returned to my hometown, and with the help of my parents, I'm living a happy and enjoyable life with my daughter. Although my daughter said those things in the hospital room, I worried that she might feel lonely and miss her father deep down.
Mommy, I'm glad we could say goodbye to Daddy. I want to see you smile.
Emily said that with a calm face, far beyond her 5 years of age. There may be difficult times ahead for her after separating from her father, but I believe it was the best decision for both me and my daughter. I couldn't spend my life with someone who lied to their family, stole money, and neglected his responsibilities. 2 years have passed since then, and today, I'm waking up early for work and preparing breakfast for the three of us. 3 portions. Tyler, who informed me of my ex-husband's infidelity, and is now in a serious relationship with me, is planning to get married. It turns out that Tyler has had feelings for me since before I married Daniel. Initially, I couldn't even consider getting married again so soon after my divorce, but he was being consistently sincere and kind. I can see that he genuinely loves my daughter as well. Thanks to him, I now believe that in order for my daughter to be happy, I need to be happy too. I want to protect and nurture this happiness with all my might.